right, everyone. So I just want to show you what this is going to look like when you're trying to get the data from LabChart into the Google Spreadsheet document that we all have to look at the blink. So after you have recorded all the data at a lab chart, right, you should have a document that looks somewhat like this. I think in the last video, I had the minutes over on the right, but you can set it up however you want. So should look something like this where you have the 5 minutes of data. So all you need to do now is just, well, first I would go to the spreadsheet. And so all of you are going to have an assignment. So we all did 1528. So the first thing is we should have a tab at the bottom of the spreadsheet for each participant. So I think the easiest way to do this is just if you go to the spreadsheet and you right click on it and you say duplicate, it'll make a copy and then rename. And just rename it to the file that you are analyzing. So this person is 7244. And so I will rename this to 7244. And then this is already set up here, right? So the time, the amplitude, etc. So you can just delete this part. These are absolute, so I'll show you how to do the formulas. So then if you go back to your data pad, you can just copy and paste just like you would with anything else. Let's make sure I got it all. Okay, so it is there. And then I just get very anal with my work, so do that. And then these were grayed out because they were grayed out in the other one, so you can ungray them here. All right. So one thing I mentioned is this isn't a huge deal, but in LabChart, the data are measured in millivolts in seconds, and we need to turn that to microvolts in milliseconds. So that is just multiplying by 1,000. So if you're not familiar with Excel or Google Docs, this is a very useful skill that will come in handy all the time, is that you can use formulas. So if I am in the square here, I want to calculate the new amplitude of this data point here. So I will type equals sum, open parentheses, and I will choose what I want to be part of my product. So I'm going to choose the amplitude, and I'm just going to type times, so asterisk 1,000, and then close parentheses. And that will create a data point for the microvolt for that. But then it will also fill in. And if it doesn't do that, you can just drag it down. So let me just show you. It is filling in. So if I push check mark, it would just say these are all of these data. But I'm going to say that just to show you that I can also just grab this, and you can do this in Excel as well, and just drag down, and it will do all that for you. So don't spend a lot of time, right, doing things that take literally a second to do. Use Excel, use Google Spreadsheets to help you to do this. So you're going to do the same thing with duration. You're going to do equal sum, open parentheses, click your second duration times 1,000, close parentheses, and that will calculate that all for you. Okay, so then the final thing is we know that, I'm going to take this as a filter off here. Nope, that's not what I meant to do. I'm just trying to make the filter go away, but I can't seem to do that. All right, that did it. That I think was left over from before. Okay, so now the one thing is we only want to include blinks that are over 50 microvolts and less than 400 milliseconds. So to make sure that we're doing that, and it looks like a lot of these meet that criteria. So I'm not sure I'm going to be able to show you actually how to filter this out. But what I would do is I would just highlight and do data, sort range, advanced range, and then tell it my data has a header row, so it doesn't sort the top row, and ask it to sort by amplitude in microvolts and sort. And so that is just going to sort by amplitude. So I don't have any here, but if I did have any values that were less than 50 here, then what I would do is just gray them out and know that I could move them out of these data, right? They are not data that should be calculated. And then I also want to sort to make sure that my duration is okay. So again, go to data sort, advanced, tell it has a header. And this time I'm doing it by milliseconds, sort. And I don't want anything greater than 400 milliseconds. And again, I don't seem to have that. So unfortunately, I picked a really bad file to show you how to remove some of the data, but it's just making sure that all of the data are within the parameters that we have established. So in this case, it's all there. If it weren't, right, I would just sort of gray it out and move it out of this block so that we're knowing not to count that. Let me just show you. So for here, right, all of these were not within the parameters. So either this was below 50 or this was above 400, right? So if either of those things happens, it can't be counted as part of the blink. All right, so these things are all part of the blink, it looks like. So I'm going to sort again, go back by column A, just to make it easier to do minute by minute. And then what you can do is you can just drag down and it'll tell you at the bottom. There are 14 blinks in minute 1. There are 8 blinks in minute 2. There are 9 blinks in minute 3. There are 9 blinks in minute 4. And there are 7 blinks in minute 5. And then just like you can get Excel to calculate a sum, you can also get it to calculate an average. So in this cell, you would just type equals average, open parentheses, and just highlight all these, close parentheses, and that is my average, 9.4 blinks. And then I would go to the master data sheet and I would say for 7244, right, just copy. And then I would paste that into here, right? And eventually, and again, I don't think for us, we're going to fill in all of these blanks, but we're just trying to get a few points here to make sure we're being reliable. So we should start to see, right, this filling in as people are analyzing their data. And that is all you have to do.